ready to shake. That was better. It didn't really work the first time, so I just tried it again. I'm glad I tried again because that last one worked great. Before we read a story today, I want to talk to you about germs. Do you remember when we were still at school, we talked about germs? Do you remember about germs? Another word for germs is bacteria. And there are many different kinds of germs and bacteria all over our world, even all over ourselves. And actually, some germs and bacteria are good, and some germs and bacteria are bad and can make you sick. You would need a microscope to see germs and bacteria. They are so small. So this is a special machine that makes teeny tiny things that we cannot even see with our eyes. They're so small, big enough to see. So I want to show you what some of the germs might look like in a microscope. Here is a picture of different bacteria and germs under a microscope. I have some stuffies. Do you remember my funny germ stuffies? This is a germ stuffy of E. coli. This is a picture of lots of little E. coli here, and even closer up, making the microscope even more powerful, this is what those E. coli germs look like. E. coli is a germ that can make people have vomiting. Another word for vomiting is puking or barfing, people call it sometimes. I prefer to say vomiting because that's the real word. And E. coli can also give you diarrhea, which isn't very fun to have either. Here is another germ. This germ is the flu germ. This can make people feel not very well either. Those are some examples of bad types of bacteria. And that's in fact how people get sick, is when they pass germs to each other without even knowing it, because these bacteria are so small that you can't even tell if you are having these bacteria or germs. And quite often we have bacteria and germs for the sickness before we even know we are sick. So it's important. We talked about the way to keep yourself healthy, and the people you love too, is washing your hands. Right? But washing our hands is so much more than just putting our hands in the water with a bit of soap and quickly taking them back out. We learned a great song to help us. After our talk at school, we had a week where we talked about hand washing and germs and bacteria quite a bit. We made a poster all together at school to talk about it and to teach our families what we've learned. And it says some of the things kids shared when we talked about germs. I asked the kids, what do you know about germs? And one child says, I go at home and put my hand in my mouth. And indeed, that's a way sometimes if we touch something that has germs, pretend maybe there were germs on the singing bowl stick, and then I put the stick down and then I touched my mouth, the germs could go in my mouth and make me sick. That was some good information, thank you. Another child said, you have to wash your hands. How true. Another kid said, at my house, my mom had a headache and I coughed at her. Certainly coughing can spread germs. Little bits of water we can't even see might come out. Another kid said, you have to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Great thinking. We do, because bathroom germs are something we could spread. It's important to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. And then another child said, I have a cough today and I coughed in my mummy's face. And somebody else said, like me. And then another kid told us, when I cough. And certainly there are germs, right? We also had this little poster we had made. It's hard to see. I put it on this table because I had the stuffies and a magnifying glass here. That had some more information we learned. It says, germs are so small that we can't even see them. It is important to wash our hands after we use the toilet or wipe our nose, and before we eat and after too. Some bacteria is good for your body, but other bacteria can make you sick. Another good reminder is to cough into your elbow. Because if you cough into your hand, the little tiny germs might come out of your mouth and onto your hand, and then everything you touch could get the sick germs on it. But if you cough into, I call this your elbow pit. I don't really know what it's called, right here, where your elbow bends. I don't know even if there's a word for that, but I say elbow pit because it's kind of like your armpit, right? If you cough into your elbow pit, the germs are not on your hands. What a great idea. The song that we learned to help us to figure out how to wash our hands goes like this. It's to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and if you know it, sing along with me, okay? Scrub, scrub, scrub your hands, scrub them till they're clean. Scrub the backs and scrub the fronts and scrub the in-betweens. And this tells us what to do. First, we get soap. Number 2, scrub hands. 3, rinse hands. And 4, dry hands. It's important when we're scrubbing our hands to scrub every part of your hands. That's why it's so great that the song tells us all the parts. And we have to sing it slow because you need to wash your hands for a long time, right? To make sure we get the germs off. Scrub the backs. That's important. Sometimes people only wash the fronts, but germs can live here too. And scrub the fronts and scrub the in-betweens. Clever, right? In between our fingers, sometimes germs can live. I also like to scrub around my wrists, and I do this with my fingernails too. I rub them on my other hand with the soap and water in the sink just to make sure I get it everywhere. And then I'm nice and clean. I try to remember to keep my hands away from my face and cover my coughs. And that's a great way to help keep people healthy. Great. I think it's time to read the story. I've got a great one for you today. We've read a story before by Ezra Keats called Hi, Cat. And it was about a black cat. No, come here, big boy. It was about a black cat with white paws, kind of like Ninja here. There's Ninja. Today's book is called Pet Show by Ezra Keats. Everyone was talking about the pet show. Pet show, prizes, prizes, Saturday, 11 o'clock. The kids told each other about the pets they would bring. Matt said he would bring his ants. I'm gonna bring my mouse, bragged Roberto. What are you gonna bring, Archie? The cat? Uh-huh. said Archie. The next day, they all got ready for the pet show. "Where's the cat?" Archie called. "Anyone see the cat?" Archie and Willie looked in the cat's favorite hangouts while Peter and Susie searched up and down the street. No cat. Archie's mother came to the window. "Where can that cat be?" he asked her. "You know how independent he is, Archie. You never know when to expect him." "But I expect him now. It's time for the pet show." "Maybe he's inside somewhere." Archie ran into the building. Look at these beautiful illustrations that Ezra Jack Keats makes. They're so wonderful. After a while, he came to the window. "I can't find him. I looked all over the place. You'd better start without me." "Gee, we're sorry, Archie," said Peter. "So long," said Susie. They got to the entrance. A lot of people were already there. Just then, Roberto's mouse took off. Oh no, do you see? The mouse is running away. Willie chased the mouse. Roberto chased Willie. Peter chased Roberto. Susie chased Peter. And the show got started. "Line up with your pets, please," the judges called. They walked up and down, looking carefully at every pet, asking, "How old is your pet?" And "What's your pet's name?" Everyone got a prize for something. There was the noisiest parrot, the handsomest frog, the friendliest fishes, the yellowest canary, the busiest ants, the brightest goldfish, the longest dog. I bet that was Willie. The fastest mouse, the softest puppy, the slowest turtle, and many more. As the last prize was awarded, someone shouted, "Look! Here comes Archie!" "Hello, you're just in time," said the judge. "What's in that bag?" "My pet." "May I see it, please?" At that moment, the cat showed up. Do you see? Right there in the corner. The other judge called out, "A blue ribbon to the nice lady for the cat with the longest whiskers." Those are the little hairs that come out from beside a cat's nose. That's Archie's cat, and the woman got the ribbon. Before anyone could say anything, he pinned a blue ribbon on the old woman and came back to Archie. "What kind of pet do you have in that jar?" "A germ," answered Archie. What's your germ's name?" Archie thought for a moment. "Al," he said. "Call me Al." The judges whispered to each other. "A blue ribbon for Al, the quietest pet in the show," the judges announced. As everyone was leaving, the old woman came over to Archie. "He's really your cat, isn't he?" she said. "You should have this ribbon." "It's okay," said Archie. "You keep it." And he ran to join his friends. What a nice put-up. Archie is sharing his cat with the woman for the pet show. They passed the woman on their way home. "Thank you for the ribbon," she called. Archie smiled. "It looks good on you. See you around." "See you around," she said. Another put-up from Archie. What a nice guy. There goes that cat again. You have met most of the pets in my house. Paisley the dog, Ninja Slipper, the black cat with white patches, Mumford, the white cat with orange patches, but we in fact have one more pet who lives at our house. It is Chris's pet. Chris is the big boy who lives at my house, who goes to the University of Waterloo, and he has a special pet that he bought with his own money. This is Mercutio. Mercutio is a ball python. He's a kind of reptile. Reptiles are cold-blooded creatures like lizards who bask in the sun. They can't keep their own bodies warm. Chris, do you want to come and get Mercutio from me? Thank you. They can't keep their own bodies warm, so sometimes they have to bask in the sun to warm up their bodies. Mercutio is a pretty neat pet that Chris has. But a thing to know about reptiles is they have germs on their skin too, right? The germs are not bad for reptiles, but for people, they could make people sick. If I put my hands in my mouth after touching Mercutio, I could get very sick. So I think we need to wash my hands right now. Why don't we do it together and sing the song? All right, I'm getting ready to wash my hands. People use different kinds of soap. Lots of people use pump soap, liquid soap that you put a pump on your hand. But I sometimes get an itchy rash called eczema, so I like to use a bar soap. It's a little nicer for my hands. So what I need to do is get it super wet. I'm working up a lather to get lots of soap on my hands, and now I'm gonna sing the song. But I'm gonna start by washing my arm because the snake was all the way up this arm, remember? Usually I don't wash my arm all the way up, but today I will. All right, here we go. Scrub, scrub, scrub your hands, scrub them till they're clean. Wash the backs and wash the fronts and wash the in-betweens. Gonna do my wrists quick too, and then scratch my fingernails on my hand just to make sure I get clean. And now I'm gonna sing the song again one more time while I rinse the soap off with water. Why don't you sing with me? Scrub, scrub, scrub my hands, scrub them till they're clean. Scrub the backs and scrub the fronts and scrub the in-betweens. There we go, and now I'm going to dry my hands on the towel. And now I'm all clean. See you next time. Bye-bye.